Good evening. Welcome to the Nassau County Board of County Commissioners meeting for 5 p.m. Monday, August 25th. If you please rise for the invocation in our Pledge of Allegiance. The invocation will be given by Mr. Irvin Gilliorn.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Our Heavenly Father, we honor you, we praise you, we give you all honor, give you all glory. And we're so thankful for this Board of County Commissioners that has taken on the responsibility to see the governing of the County of Nassau. And we ask that you continue to lead and guide them so that the decision-making is in the best interest of the county and of the residents of Nassau County. Ask that you continue to bless those that support them through the county attorney's office, the county manager's office, and their support teams. And as always, we ask blessings upon our first responders as they face dangers they may see and dangers they don't see. Continue to look on this military, men and women that serve this country and protect this country. We ask all blessings in your name. Amen.
Amen. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of our nation.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, if you please call the roll.
Commissioner McCullough.
Here.
Commissioner Gray.
Here.
Commissioner Farmer.
Here.
Commissioner Martin.
Here.
And Chair Hutman.
Here. County Manager, any expansions or deletions to tonight's agenda?
No, sir.
Thank you. County Attorney, any
I have none. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, ma'am. I'd like to take a moment and ask, if I may, the representatives from 3101 are in the House to make a donation this evening to our nonprofit charity here. So if I could get the NCAS, Imagine Nassau folks to come up and accept this from the 3101. Thanks, Brandy. Oh, you, okay. I didn't know I was recording that. Wes, you want to make?
Yeah, we'll do a quick picture and then.
Sure, okay. Wes, you want to make some marks on that? Thanks.
I'm Wes Gill, President of Nassau County Fire Rescue Professionals, Local 3101. We'd like to make a donation to Imagine Nassau for $1,000 for our funds to go towards the animal shelter. That's from our Nassau County Professional Firefighters Benevolent Association. So it's $1,000 to go towards y'all to help the animals out.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
I know that y'all hear me, but apparently they've heard me too. It's coming to fruition, and we're getting donations from people like this and the firefighters. I had the pleasure of going to their news station 70 last week, and wow, is it something else. And we love our firefighters, our first responders, and thank you so much for donating this to us. It helps build our bank to have that new station. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Osborne. Thanks. Tab A. Tab A, approve a proclamation of the Board of County Commissioners of Nassau County, Florida, recognizing Mr. Keith Ellis on his retirement from the Nassau County Building Department.
Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Martin?
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve tab A.
Second.
I have a motion from Commissioner Martin, second by Commissioner Farmer. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ask Commissioner Gray if you would please meet, Mr. Ellis, if you could come up and meet with Commissioner Gray.
Thank
Yeah.
I was going to say no.
I don't know if I want to do this because I don't know if I want you to leave or not. Grab this. Okay. Mr. Ellis, we have a proclamation of the Board of County Commissioners of Nassau County, Florida. Retirement of Keith Ellis, August 25th, 2025. Whereas Keith Ellis has 42 years of experience in the construction industry, both in the private and the government sector, and with 29 and a half of those years service in Nassau County. I'm going to say that again. with 29 and a half of those years servicing the great citizens of Nassau County. Whereas Keith Ellis has held various positions over his years of service: building inspector 2, plans examiner, senior plans examiner, interim building official, and currently holds the position of building official and floodplain administrator. And whereas Keith Ellis, during his career, obtained the state of Florida DPPR license as inspector and plans examiner in all the trade disciplines: building, electrical, plumbing, and mechanical, including the Florida Building Code Administrator's license. And whereas Keith Ellis obtained 27 International Code Council certifications, including Master Code Professional and Certified Building Official. And whereas Keith Ellis also obtained his Certified Floodplain Manager certification in the year 2009 from the Association of State Floodplain Managers. And whereas Keith Ellis has worked with Nassau County's building community and owner builders for almost 3 decades now to ensure code compliance on their construction projects. And whereas Keith Ellis announced his retirement effective August 29, 2025, and will be greatly missed by those who had the honor of working with him, as well as the citizens of Nassau County. Now therefore be it proclaimed, this 25th day of August 2025, by the Board of County Commissioners of Nassau County, Florida, as follows. 1, the board publicly commends Keith Ellis for his outstanding service and dedication to the citizens of Nassau County. 2, the board, on behalf of all citizens in Nassau County, extend their sincere appreciation to Keith Ellis for all he has done to make this a great county. 3, and I'm getting to the end, the board hereby extends their congratulations to Keith Ellis on his retirement and expresses best wishes for continued success, happiness, and health in years to come. And this is signed by the Board of County Commissioners Chairman, Mr. A.M. Hutman, and approved to the form by our Nassau County Attorney, Ms. Denise May. Congratulations, sir.
Thank you.
We're gonna miss you dearly. I was on the planning and zoning board, volunteering in Nassau County for approximately 12 years when I met Keith, and he always finds a way to help people, find a way to say yes, to help our citizens and help expand and grow our economy here. We're gonna take some pictures here in a minute, and I'm gonna let you talk. But I just wanna say, we're gonna dearly miss you. Go ahead, Keith.
All right. As you know, public speaking is my favorite thing to do. I figured I'd better jot something down real quick. So I typed something up real quick in the office. That way I don't go blank up here. But thank you to everyone for giving me this career opportunity. It's been a great place to work and has a lot of very talented people here and staff. Thank you to all county department heads and your staff for your support over the years. There's too many to list, and I don't want to leave anyone out, but thank you. And thank God for letting me make it to retirement. To my wife and family for supporting me during my career and working overtime on weekends when needed. When we were slam busy, I worked a lot of Saturdays, sometimes Sunday, and my wife has always been there. She's always been there when I brought home the check to like that overtime. So I want to give a big thank you to the building department staff for all their hard work and making me look good over the years. It's a team effort, and I couldn't have done it without them. I've worked with Melanie Liddell for about the last quarter century, 24 is Melanie here, and Karen also for many years also. And I'm known for having 2 to 3 hour long-winded meetings, staff meetings, and but I did that to see who was dozed off first. And Chet might have won a few times, I'm not sure. I can't confirm, but I wish him and our staff the best in the future. And I'm looking forward to an active future, getting healthier, spending more time with my family, hunting, fishing, and plan on working part-time. Having a desk job for years has made me fat, or else the pizza, ice cream, and donuts, I'm not sure. Thanks again to everyone. Nassau County has been a great place to live, work, and now retire. Thank you.
Thanks.
real quick?
Oh, there they are.
Thank you all for doing that.
One, two, three. And then really quick, you want to get your family up here?
Congratulations, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
Yeah, you're welcome. Well done.
Thank you all very much.
Thanks, Keith.
Thank you, Keith.
All right, consent items. If any member wishes to move an item to the new business, please do so now.
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner McCullough.
I'd like to move tab D, tab E, and tab M.
N as in Nancy?
Mom.
M as in
Sorry.
Mike. Got it, yep, okay. Good. Anyone else? Okay.
I have none, no, sir.
All right. Other than tabs D, E, and M, I'll entertain a motion on the consent agenda.
Motion to move the consent agenda with the exception of tab D, E, and M, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Have a motion for Commissioner McCullough, second by Commissioner Farmer. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Consent passes. Tab D, consider the following. Approve a resolution authorizing the use of TDT dollars for tourism marketing services with Starmark International Incorporated. 2, approve and authorize the chairman to sign contract CM 3244-A4 with Starmark International Incorporated for marketing services in the amount of $5,081,280. Mr. Iron, Mr. Pope?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Sure.
So, excuse me, through the county's tourism tax district, we collect annual tourism taxes. Those funds are used primarily for marketing, to promote Amelia Island, to promote basically the increase of tourism within the county. Part of that budget is to provide entities such as Starmark with funding. They are our major partner, and so most of the advertisements go through them. And so this represents basically all of our advertising budget through Starmark. I know it is the large number that comes out of that, but they're our primary partner. But we do have representatives from the CVB here as well, if there are any other specific questions.
No, sir, I had asked to move tab D because they were large ticket items, and I just like to go on the record. I know Mr. Martin does too, and just clarify those points and truly giving the public a better understanding of tourism dollars. So I'd make a motion to approve tab D, Mr. Chairman.
Second. I have a motion from Commissioner McCullough, second by Commissioner Martin. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Tab D passes. Tab E, consider the following. Approve a resolution authorizing the use of TDT dollars for tourism marketing with Hayworth Creative Incorporated. Approve and authorize the chairman to sign contract CM 3272-A4 with Hayworth Creative Incorporated for tourism and marketing services in the amount of $170,000. I assume, from my reading, this is very similar, but these folks specialize in the online and digital media realm.
Yes, sir, and I'd just
Correct.
like to stress too that these are funded through the tourism tax dollars for a very specific purpose
Yep.
as set forth in the law.
Thank you. Motion to approve tab E, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Motion for Commissioner McCullough, second by Commissioner Martin. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Tab M, approve and authorize the Economic Resources Manager to submit a Rural Infrastructure Fund application in the amount of $300,000 to prepare a PD&E study for a new interchange on Interstate 95. County Manager, hi. Ms. Coyle.
Hi. So we are asking for approval to submit an application to get rural infrastructure funding for the first step in the interchange development. So this will pay for, it's $300,000. It's the maximum that we can ask for in this particular category for a feasibility study, transportation analysis, geotech, engineering. And you, at your winter strategic planning session, devoted about $1.945 million for the next 10 years to that project. So we would appreciate your support.
Any additional questions for Ms. Quill?
No, but I just thought that the interchange 95 and the fact that this is a grant initiative was an important thing to bring to spotlight. the
Yes, ma'am.
public. Thank you. So I'll make a motion to approve tab M.
Second.
I have a motion from Commissioner McCullough, second by Commissioner Farmer. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Tab M. All right, legislative public hearings.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Madam Attorney, thank you.
The following items are legislative items. Those are tabs O through U. The procedures are in place to give all who wish to speak for or against an item an opportunity to do so. Those wishing to speak in favor of or against the item being considered will have 3 minutes to address the board. All statements should be addressed to the board and only the item under consideration. Speakers should not engage in personal attacks on other speakers, staff, or board members. Speakers must begin by stating your name and address for the record. The time will be 3 minutes again, as managed by the deputy clerks. Please do not be repetitive or restate the same information as previous speakers. Sharing or transferring of time is not allowed. The clerk does control that time allocated, again 3 minutes. Any speaker with documents as part of their presentation should present them to the deputy clerks. They do become a part of the permanent record. This meeting is being recorded, so please no applause, outburst, or talking, as it does distort the recording. The board will then close the public hearing and discuss the item under consideration. They may ask questions of speakers or staff. The board will then deliberate and vote on the item before them. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Tab O, approve and authorize finance package 2025-28 and the associated resolutions. I will open the floor for public discussion. Staff presentation, Mr. Ironman.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is one of the final tasks in the American Beach Water and Sewer District. That project is completed, and so we're wrapping up the final items. The budget amendments that you have before you are some of the final transactions. You'll notice the $1.9 million. That is the budget to allow us to repay the SRF loans, which the board approved at their previous meeting for those repayments, and those funds are coming from funds already set aside within that American Beach project. And so with this final task, that really closes out the project, the district, all of those items.
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Gray, yes, sir.
I make a motion to approve tab O.
Let me, if you, yeah, I'm not quite there yet.
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Apologize.
All right. Thanks. Any questions for Mr. Ironman? No. I do have 2 speaker cards on this American Beach agenda item. I'd like to call Pastor Carlton Jones, sir. Good evening.
Good evening. Carlton Jones, 95580 Bernie Road, Fernandina Beach. Through the chair, I would like to also, and all the Board of County Commissioners, thank you for the American Beach Water and Sewer District. This was a unique concept that the county came up with, and it's already helped communities throughout the state of Florida, and it's a model concept. It was a lot of creative financing, and it was not an easy feat. And I just wanted to, on behalf of Friends of American Beach, Judge Adams, J.D. Staten, Irvin Gilliard, those are the officers and the board. We worked very closely with the county to get this accomplished, and just want to thank you, publicly thank you.
Thank you, Reverend Jones. Mr. Irvin Gilliard?
Irvin Gilliard, 5406 Leonard Street, American Beach. Good evening, Commissioner McCullough,
Good evening.
Commissioner Gray, Commissioner Farmer, Commissioner Martin, and Chair Huffman. I stand here tonight to, and I wrote down, I didn't want to go over my time limit, so I wrote down what I wanted to say. But if I do, forgive me. I stand here tonight to personally thank you for your support to the American Beach Water and Sewer Project. when the 1.85 million was denied, you, as a board, stepped up and approved the money and saving the residents of American Beach that 20-year assessment. You also approved to have the unpaved streets paved. I remember about 25 years ago, the county came in and paved a few of the streets and said they ran out of money and they would put in the next year's budget, but that never happened. I believe that you all are in these positions at this time because it was predestined by God to accomplish his plans through you. There were some people in the seats that you're in now, 25 years ago, that in my opinion, didn't think American Beach was worthy of services. But you all have come through for American Beach, and I thank you. I know I refuse to keep looking back, and I am committed to looking forward. And I know it's very seldom that you guys get a thank you, but tonight I thank you. I have lived in Nassau County most of my life and at American Beach for the last 47 years. I love this county and I love American Beach. I also would like to thank your support staff through the county attorney's office, Ms. May, and I always say Ms. Abigail because I don't want to mess up her last name. And the county manager's office, Mr. Pope, Mr. Ironman, Ms. Katie, and of course, Ms. Amy Bell. And you know, when we were going through this project, I used to email them. It would be after hours. I'm thinking I'll hear from them the next day. And in a few minutes, I'm getting an email. So I stopped emailing them after hours because I didn't think it was fair to them to be working after hours. I also would like to say thanks to Mr. Mike Mullen, who was instrumental in the beginning of this project, and also to the county engineer, Mr. Robert Companion, and of course to our ladies that keep us straight and keep the minutes of the meetings. And also, I would like to thank the workers that were on the front lines getting the job done. I had a question concerning drainage in the front of my property and the back of my property, and the supervisor and the worker took the time out to come and explain to me and show me that there would not be any flooding. And I thought that was admirable for them to do that. And I want to thank you for the opportunity to have served on the American Beach Water and Sewer Advisory Board. And I look forward to continuing serving the community and the county. In closing, I ask you, the commissioners, consider creating a board of American residents to act as a bridge between American Beach and the county commissioners, because there's still some work to be done at American Beach. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Guerriero. Okay, I'm going to close the floor for public discussion on tab O. Board deliberation, if any.
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Martin.
based on review of the applicable testimony and evidence provided, my motion is to approve, I'm on the wrong one. With tab O?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. My motion is to approve Finance Package 2025-28 and associated resolutions.
Second, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Motion by Commissioner Martin, second by Commissioner Gray. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner McCullough,
Yes.
Commissioner Gray,
Yes.
Commissioner Farmer,
Yes.
Commissioner Martin,
Yes.
and Chair Hupman.
Yes.
That's 5 ayes, 0 nays, your motion carries.
Thank you, ma'am. Tab P, consider and approve an ordinance 2025-030, an ordinance of the Board of County Commissioners of Nassau County, Florida, specifically dissolving the American Beach Water and Sewer District, providing for the process, the transfer of assets, property, and indebtedness, dissolving the American Beach Water and Sewer District Advisory Board, amending Chapter 30 and 3/4 Utilities, Article 1, in general, specifically repealing Section 30 3/4-1, American Beach Water and Sewer District. I will open the floor to public discussion for tab P. I assume,
Yes, Mr. Chair.
yep, thank you.
And just briefly before you is an ordinance which actually repeals the ordinance you passed in 2020 that created your district. At the time, it also created the advisory board. At the time that we built the American Beach Water and Sewer District, those facilities built were actually assets of the district. So by statute, we must repeal under 189, and under that repealer, all of the assets, indebtedness, and other items and inventory will transfer to Nassau County. And so what we ask for you to do tonight is to approve ordinance 2025-030, repealing that district.
I have no speaker cards on tab P. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, any questions for County Attorney May? All right, thanks. I'm going to close the floor for public discussion. Any board deliberation, or I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Gray.
Based on a review of the applicable testimony and evidence provided, my motion is to approve ordinance 2025-030.
Second that motion.
A motion from Commissioner Gray, second by Commissioner McCullough. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Gray,
Yes.
Commissioner McCullough,
Yes.
Commissioner Farmer,
Yes.
Commissioner Martin,
yes.
and Chair Hupman.
Yes.
5 ayes, 0 nays, your motion carries.
Thank you. Tab Q, consider and approve a resolution accepting the public interest statement pursuant to sections 125-3401 of Florida statutes and determining that the sale of the water, wastewater, and reclaimed water assets owned by the county located on Amelia Island is in the public interest. I will open the floor for tab Q. Staff presentation and discussion.
Mr. Chair, tonight with us is Mr. Bill Sundstrom. And he can come to the podium now. He has been behind the scenes working feverishly with us for, 2 years or more. Bill can tell me where I'm wrong. And he's here to present to you this resolution tonight and what it stands for.
Mr. Chairman, members
Welcome
of the
back,
commission. My name is Bill Sundstrom. My address is 2548 Blairstone Pines Drive, Tallahassee, Florida. I've had the honor and pleasure of representing this county for water and wastewater utility purposes for several years. The Nassau Amelia utility system was acquired by the county in 2003 through eminent domain from a company that owned multiple utilities around the state of Florida and then decided to leave. And they quit putting money into the system, and that was the system that you got when you acquired it. The system has 3,500 water customers, 3,100 wastewater customers. In 2019, you had a major line break on Amelia Island, and that line break had to be dealt with. While the DEP was examining the line break, they also decided to examine the sewer system, which wound up in pages and pages of violations. And the system was put under a severe consent order. The county hired the Florida Governmental Utility Authority at that time to work with U.S. Water in bringing the system up to shape and turning it around, and they did a pretty good job. I've inspected that system several times over the course of my career, but the big problem with it is it's old. It's old and it needs a lot of work. It has vitrified clay pipe as its primary method of collecting wastewater. Clay pipe cracks. When it cracks, groundwater infiltrates, comes through the sewer plant. You wind up spending a ton of money on electricity and chemicals treating otherwise just fine water. I could give you a long list of the things to be done. One of the other major ones is there's a reject pond at the wastewater plant that's got a liner that is suspect, and that thing's got to be replaced right away. All in all, you're looking at $25 million in capital expenses over the next 5 years. So the plan is for the county to sell the utility to the Florida Governmental Utility Authority, the Florida Governmental Utility Authority to issue some bonds in order to pay off the existing county indebtedness and to increase the amortization of those bonds and additional bonds for purposes of immediate capital improvement And then through a combination of those bonds, state revolving fund loans from the Department of Environmental Protection, and a renewal and replacement account, those $24 million in improvements will be completed. At the time those improvements are completed, or 5 years, yes, that's correct, the county has the option under the documents we're presenting to you to acquire the system back. In the meantime, the system will pay 5% of its revenues to the county as a revenue share, which is the identical agreement that you have with the JEA. I could go on, but the bottom line is that during the course of our work, we hired an engineering firm and an accountant firm who are conversant in this matter, who looked at the plan of finance and the plan of construction on your behalf and who found it to be worthy. I will say to you that if this deal closes, and I certainly expect it will be my 151st. So I've been doing this for a while. And after saying that, I recommend that you approve the acquisition of this utility and find that the acquisition is in the public interest. Any questions?
Any additional questions for Mr. Sussman?
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you,
Chairman.
sir. I have one speaker card on tab Q. Mr. Greg Cook. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Good evening, Chairman. Good evening, Commissioners, staff. Thank you very much. I've spent some time with the county talking about this, and I can just tell you for Ritz-Carlton, who I represent, we've had 2 water breaks since I've been there in 2020, which resulting in us literally having to close the hotel. We've also had some sewer issues there, so we support this. We would love for a company to come in, fix this, and update the water and sewer on the south side of the island. So I just wanted to say the hotel, Ritz-Carlton, we're in support of this, so thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Cook.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay. Close the floor to public discussion. Board deliberation, or I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Martin.
based on review of the applicable testimony evidence provided, my motion is to approve Resolution 2025-111.
Second.
A motion from Commissioner Martin, second by Commissioner Farmer. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Martin?
Yes.
Commissioner McCullough?
Yes.
Commissioner Farmer?
Yes.
Commissioner Gray?
Yes.
And Chair Huffman?
Yes.
That's 5 ayes, 0 nays, your motion carries.
Thank you, ma'am. Tab R, approval of ordinance 2025-018, revising Land Development Code Article 25, Planning Unit Development. Mrs. Coyle, welcome back. I'll open the floor for public discussion on tab R. Staff presentation.
So this is the last of 10 ordinances that you will, that comprise the Land Development Code updates. This is Article 25, Planned Unit Development. This is the 3rd time that it is being presented to you. At your last hearing, we made one additional change, and that was to keep the minimum site area requirement for PUDs at 10 acres. So we're back now with that change. I won't go through all of these changes again, since this is the 3rd time you're hearing it, but I will point out just 2. The first is the overarching standards of review that we've created. We've established those to give the applicants the information that they need to know what we expect as staff when they're applying for those PUD applications. And then the second is the deletion of the FDP requirement. That adds 2 additional hearings to PUD applications. So we're removing that and creating or shortening that time frame for approvals. There was one additional change made after the PZB hearing as well, and that's just to clarify that architectural renderings are required for all building types. These changes are consistent with the comp plan, all county regulatory documents, and we recommend approval. And the Planning and Zoning Board recommended approval with a 5-0 vote on June 3rd. Happy to answer any questions.
I have none. Okay. Thank you, ma'am. I have no speaker cards for tab R. Close the floor for public discussion, board deliberation, or I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner McCullough.
based upon the record, evidence, and testimony received, I find that the amendments are in conformance with the Florida statutes and goals, objectives, and policies of the comprehensive plan and do not conflict with the Land Development Code, Code of Ordinances, and other county regulatory documents, and therefore my motion is to approve LDC 25-002-03, ordinance 2025-018.
Second.
I have a motion from Commissioner McCullough, second by Commissioner Martin. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Farmer?
Yes.
Commissioner McCullough?
Yes.
Commissioner Martin?
Yes.
Commissioner Gray?
Yes.
And Chair Hupman?
Yes.
5 ayes, 0 nays, your motion carries.
Tab S, approve CPA 25-008, comprehensive plan amendment for the reclassification of 1.32 acres of real property located on the west side of Goodbread Road between Cohen Lane and Hamilton Street from commercial and low-density residential LDR to commercial. Kimberly A. Carter, ALE owner, Nassau County Agent, District 3. I'll open the floor to public discussion on tab S. Good evening, Ms. Beck.
Good evening,
Staff
Commissioners.
presentation.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
So what I have before you tonight are 3 comprehensive plan amendments. Each of these are a result of the Timber to Tides design overlay being approved. And there's a period of 7 months, a 7-month window that folks can come in and request to fix the mismatches between the underlying land use and the zoning on their parcels. So the next 3 items have that all in common. This first one, CPA 25-008, is requesting to move from low-density residential and commercial to be fully commercial for the underlying land use. And this is in Commission District 3. Nassau County is the sponsor of these 3 items, and we are the agent as well. The owner and applicant is Kimberly A. Carter, and this is for a future land use amendment for about 1.32 acres. I'll show you where this is located on the slide here. So you'll see Goodbread Road on the east side here, and then US 17 on the west is this parcel lined out in red. As you'll see on the left-hand side here in this image, you can see where the LDR, low density, is located on the eastern portion of the site, and they already have some commercial land use on the western portion of the site. The zoning is entirely commercial general and would stay as such. So I'm not going to go through the full detail. You do have the staff reports, and we do find this to be consistent with the comprehensive plan. The adopted criteria from the future land use element of the comprehensive plan. Staff is recommending approval of CPA 25-008. And I will say the Planning and Zoning Board did recommend approval on their August 5th Planning and Zoning Board meeting. I'm available if you have any questions.
I have no speaker cards on tab S. Board questions for staff? I will close the floor to public comment, board deliberation, or I will entertain a motion on tab S.
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Gray.
based upon the record, evidence, and testimony received, I find that the plan amendment is consistent with policy FL 0102C and policy FL 0104A through G of the comprehensive plan. And therefore, my motion is to approve CPA 25-008.
Second that motion.
A motion from Commissioner Gray, second by Commissioner McCullough. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Farmer?
Yes.
Commissioner Martin?
Yes. Excuse me,
Commissioner
yes.
McCullough?
Yes.
Commissioner Gray?
Yes.
And Chair Hupman?
Yes.
That's 5 ayes, 0 nays, your motion carries.
Thank you. Tab T, approve CPA 25-009, comprehensive plan amendment for the reclassification of 1.05 acres of real property located on the south side of Pages Dairy Road between US 17 and Palmetto Street from medium-density residential MDR to commercial COM. Bruce Palmer, LLC owner, Nassau County Agent, District 3. I will open the floor to public discussion on tab T. Welcome back, Ms. Beck.
Good evening again. Elizabeth back with the Planning Department. So very similar to the last case you heard, this is also a comprehensive plan amendment meant to correct the mismatch between the land use and the zoning category. This one is approximately 1.05 acres, seeking to go from medium-density residential to commercial. Nassau County, again, is the agent, and Bruce Palmer, LLC, is the owner applicant in Commission District 3. You'll see on this map here, outlined in red, this is located on the south side of Pages Dairy Road, just east of US 17. On the left-hand image here, you can see that the current underlying land use is MDR, medium-density residential. And they're seeking to move towards commercial, which you'll see across the street there and to the east. On the right-hand side, you'll see that the current zoning is commercial intensive, CI, and that would remain as such. As I mentioned before, these are all located in the staff report, the evaluation of criteria. But staff does find that this request is consistent with the comprehensive plan and the future land use element policies. Based on these findings, staff is recommending approval of this application. And during the August 5th PZB meeting, Planning and Zoning Board members did recommend approval of this application. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Seeing none, I have no speaker cards on tab T. I will close the floor to public discussion or deliberation, or I will entertain a motion on tab T.
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Gray.
based upon the record, evidence, and testimony received, I find that the plan amendment is consistent with policy FL 0102C and policy FL 0104A through G of the comprehensive plan. And therefore, my motion is to approve CPA 25009.
Second.
A motion from Commissioner Gray, second by Commissioner Farmer. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Martin?
Yes.
Commissioner McCullough?
Yes.
Commissioner Gray?
Yes.
Commissioner Farmer?
Yes.
And Chair Hutman?
Yes.
5 ayes, 0 nays, your motion carries.
Good. Tab U, approve CPA 25-012, comprehensive plan amendment for the reclassification of 2.48 acres of real property located on the east side of US 17, south of State Road 200, from medium-density residential MDR to commercial COM. Real Capital Ventures LLC owner, Nassau County Agent, District 3.
Good evening
I'll open
again.
I'm
Oh,
sorry.
go ahead.
Elizabeth, I'll open the floor to public discussion. Thank you.
All right, thank you. This is CPA 25-012, the last of these 3 comprehensive plan amendments. As I mentioned before, folks have about 7 months, which is roughly around February 1st, to get these through our department to fix that mismatch between their underlying land use and their zoning district. This individual case is for approximately 2.48 acres, seeking to go from MDR to COM, medium density, to commercial. The applicant is Real Capital Ventures LLC, and the agent is Nassau County, also in Commission District 3. As you'll see here on the map, this parcel outlined in red, the vacant parcel on the east side of US 17, and this is located south of State Road 200. The left-hand side, you can see here that the current underlying land use is MDR. You've got commercial to the south, and then on the image on the right, the parcel is currently zoned commercial intensive, CI, and would remain as such. So feel free to review the staff report for the full evaluation of the criteria. Staff does find that the requested amendment is consistent with the comprehensive plan and the future land use policies. Based on those findings, staff is recommending approval of this request, and the Planning and Zoning Board did recommend approval on their August 5th meeting. Happy to answer any questions.
Okay, I have no speaker cards on tab U. I'll close the floor to public discussion. Any deliberation, or I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Gray.
based upon the record, evidence, and testimony received, I find that the plan amendment is consistent with policy FL 0102C and policy FL 0104A through G of the comprehensive plan. And therefore, my motion is to approve CPA 25-012.
Second.
I have a motion from Commissioner Gray, second by Commissioner McCullough. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Gray?
Yes.
Commissioner Farmer?
Yes.
Commissioner Martin?
Yes.
Commissioner McCullough?
Yes.
And Chair Hutman?
Yes.
That's 5 ayes, 0 nays, your motion carries.
Thank you. General public comment. Comments can be for items under the authority of the Board of County Commissioners. Time limit is 3 minutes. I have multiple speaker cards on one subject this evening, NCS, and I'd like to ask the speakers to keep in mind that we'd like you to, certainly everyone gets their 3 minutes, to not be redundant and not state the same things. If you could please present what you came to speak this evening. We're glad you're here. Ms. Karen Smith. Well, how could she fill out a speaking card if she's not here? Okay, all right. Ms. Kylie Campa. Good evening, ma'am.
Hi, good evening.
If you could state your name and address for the record, please.
My name is Kylie Champa, and my address is 96051 Bass Lane, Yulee, Florida, 32097.
Thank you.
Dear County Commissioners, my name is Kylie Champa, and I have always had a passion for animals. I have spent almost 2 years volunteering for NCAS, mostly on the dog side. My speech today is to communicate to you and the public just how much NCAS volunteers do for the shelter. Here is a list of what I have done, along with what I have witnessed my fellow volunteers contribute. Walk dogs at the shelter in any kind of weather, rain, shine, freezing cold, hurricanes, as well as on weekends after working our full-time jobs all week, or sometimes the evenings after work, in my case and some others, with some people going 6 out of 7 days a week. Mow the lawn. Put up dividers and mulch in the play yards. Make and distribute enrichment. Go in on holidays to feed special meals. Give baths, including medical baths, and film tub talks. Pitch in to help clean dirty kennels, crates, litter boxes. Do and fold laundry. Wash dishes and bowls. Fill and change dirty water bowls. Go in and take pictures of the animals for the shelter website. Drive around and collect donations of linens, beds, toys. Keep track of animal ailments for vet staff. Puppy kitten socialization. Set up an Amazon donation list and fundraisers, promote animals on personal social media, drive an hour or more to assist at adoption events, whether in Nassau or Duval County, help facilitate set up those adoption events, training, teaching dogs tricks, put together adoption info packets, most of which are never handed out, come up with a color coding system for the dogs, set up Trello information system for dogs with kennel cards with QR codes on them, which got thrown away, make spreadsheets to track dog behavioral information, which mostly was never used. Make and send out a newsletter promoting animals to the public. Wasn't allowed to be used. Bring dogs to people's homes for meet and greets. Bring dogs on doggy dates for public exposure. Pay for dog DNA tests to promote the public and dogs' medical treatment every month with our own money. Foster adopt animals that would have otherwise been euthanized. Recruit new volunteers and assist with new volunteer orientation and trainings. And the list goes on. And guess what? We don't do it for money or recognition, because there certainly isn't any. We simply do it for our pure love of these animals and the joy they bring us, especially when we get to see them thrive outside their kennel, or the ultimate win when they get adopted into a loving home. The one and only thing most volunteers are afraid to do is speak out and bring awareness to the true conditions of the shelter and the gross lack of leadership and management there, along with the county. And do you want to know why? Because they know they will be terminated as a volunteer instantly. That is our worst fear, because we know that we will never be able to see the animals we love so much again, and that is truly devastating for us. So, Commissioners, I implore you to please help us volunteers make lasting change for these animals. Don't allow us to be terminated for speaking out. Trust me, I would have many, many more volunteers standing beside me tonight if they were not afraid of being terminated, retaliation, or their foster animals being taken away by the shelter. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you. Ms. Dana Campa? Mr. Dana Campa.
Good evening, Commissioners.
Good evening, sir.
You can hear?
Yes, sir.
My name is Dana Champa, and as you can see, I raised a tough kid. See, we moved up here from Broward County, Florida, 3 years ago. I lived in Broward County for 35 years, and we came up here and actually retired up here. But my wife and I, who you'll hear from later, we both taught school for over 32 years. So we know what it's like to be in the trenches. We know what it's like to make a difference. And that's what Kylie and all the rest of these volunteers are trying to do, is just make a difference. And I'm doing this mainly for my daughter, but I worked there for approximately 6 months. I've been a volunteer there for 2 years, but I after 6 months, from what I saw and some of the inconsistencies and the way they treated staff, I never met anybody who was in the upper management. I never got a thank you, not that you teach or you do anything for a thank you, but Nobody ever came up to say, hey, you know, good job, appreciate you coming, smile, nothing, from the front desk all the way up to the top. And the kennel techs who work there are you know, the salt of the earth, and they're the ones that really do most of the work, much like the teachers do, and, you know, the principals stay in their office or whatever they do. So it's very similar in those lines, and basically it's just trying to give these dogs a voice. And you know, I hope that you guys will, you know, come together, and I've stood before other boards in Broward County and stuff, and I know it takes a lot to move you guys and to get things done, but I know that a lot of these people you're gonna hear from are not gonna stop, and they're not gonna quit, and they're gonna keep going. And I know you've probably heard some of the chatter already about what's going on and everything, but they're gonna continue to fight and continue to give these dogs a voice because, as I said, they don't have one. So I implore you to definitely, you know, do what we can and try to just be there for them and keep this kennel going and make sure it stays a no-kill shelter, and just continue to make sure that my principal, one of my principals many years ago told me, if you want to know what's important, follow the money. And I know money's a big issue, but as I said, these dogs can't do anything, and they're in there, and some of the conditions are just, you know, from what I've seen, are deplorable. I've taken dogs to homes down in Jacksonville. I've been all over the county already, and again, I'm pretty new here, but I've taken dogs on my own time on the weekends to different homes, to different functions, this and that, and I don't even know who the you know, the people in charge are. I've never seen them, don't know what they look like. And that's pretty deplorable for somewhere where it's supposed to be customer friendly, and it's really not. And I know I'm not gonna, you know, berate them or this or that. I'm just looking for trying to be positive and trying to say, hey, you know what, just do your job. And to do that, you have to be an animal person. So I'm hoping that, you know, either if they're not gonna do it, that they would do something else and put somebody in there that really cares about animals, as you can see, like my daughter does. So hopefully we'll find a resolve, and hopefully you guys will see through that and help us out. So I appreciate it. But I'm here, like I said, mostly for her.
Okay.
So thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Peggy Campa.
Okay, my name is Peggy Champa. My address is 96314 Lightwind Drive, Fernandina Beach, 32034. Hello, County Commissioners. My name is Peggy Champa, and I am a retired Broward County school teacher. I have lived in Nassau County now for 3 years, and I have volunteered at NCAS for about 2. The purpose of my speech is to tell you what life is like for a dog at NCAS. Dogs do not get to play, socialize, and walk around the grounds if not for volunteers. Some dogs do not get out of their kennels for 2 to 3 days. There is a color system in place where dogs are taken out by a volunteer based on their behavioral level. For example, I can walk green and yellow dogs, but not red. I have been waiting since March to be able to take out the red dogs. Consistent training was promised, but has not happened. Dogs sit in their urine and feces for extended periods of time due to consistent shortage of kennel techs. This can breed skin conditions, infections, other illnesses, not to mention dogs in the inside building with no air conditioning while temperatures outside soar to 90 and above. And there's no end to that right now. There are also many dogs in the shelter that have been there for over a year. That's my passion. Dogs that circle around and around in their kennels, get cuts on their faces and paws, start bleeding. They're trying to get out. The shelter does little or nothing to expose, promote, rehabilitate, or enrich those dogs. Usually it's the job of the volunteers that have to say something and promote these sad cases to social media and fosters. Do you need some examples? Dogs like Dahlia, volunteers, Hagar, Cranberry, Gerard, Smokey, Beach, Johnny Cash, just to name a few. I've been to the shelter multiple times as recent as yesterday, where there's been broken appliances, open foods in bags on the floor, live roaches crawling around and in kennels, play yards with grass up to my knees, dogs sitting in urine and feces. 2 weekends ago, my daughter and I asked the front office and a kennel tech if we could take a dog to an event. We got the okay. 3 hours later, while at the event, we get a call by the vet tech saying, oh no, that dog can't go, that dog has kennel cough. Now, mind you, we were there for 3 hours already. That dog shouldn't have gone if it's contagious like that. This shows a lack of communication and leadership at NCAS. In April of this year, on a Sunday night, a small dog named Bella with leg deformities, she gets out of her kennel, goes through the door of the building, out of the fences, all the way to State Road 200 and gets hit and struck by a car, killed. Bella was supposed to be at her foster that weekend, but NCAS said, nope, we need her for events. Guess what? She wasn't at events. I know because I was at those events. She wasn't there. And a volunteer was terminated when she notified us other volunteers and her foster about this tragedy. We never got a final statement from the shelter, and it still upsets us to this day. Again, lack of leadership. We have voiced our concerns many times. I've met with the county director, I've met with the shelter director, the director of the shelter, I've met with higher-ups, even emails by you, the commissioners.
Ma'am.
It's all on public record, take a look, but concerns fall on deaf ears. I'm asking you to listen today. Thank you.
Thank you. Mary Ann? Hey, look, folks, I'm gonna tell you, there's no outbursts or clapping. This isn't a performance. These are comments that are relative and important that we're hearing and taking notes on. Thank you. Mary Ann Lebeski?
You'll have to give them to
Give
the
those to
deputy
the clerk.
clerks as
Yes,
was
ma'am.
announced.
I'm sorry, it's my first time here.
That's okay.
Good evening, Commissioners. My name is Mary Ann Lebeski. I live at 85080 Bistanu Court in Fernandina Beach. I've had the privilege of volunteering at the shelter since 2019. I stand before you today because I'm deeply concerned about managing excessive heat in the shelter's main kennel building. As you know, there was an attempt to introduce cooling units into the kennel, but it was ineffective. With fall approaching, I worry that there is a false sense of security regarding this issue, and you must not allow that to lead you to complacency. While a new shelter is on the horizon, we must acknowledge that the animals currently in your care and the dedicated staff members, particularly the hardworking kennel techs, will continue to endure excessive heat for the next 6 to 7 years. This is simply unacceptable. According to the federal government's Animal Welfare Act, dogs cannot be housed at temperatures exceeding 85 degrees for more than 4 hours. It's important to emphasize that providing ventilation in the form of fans does not satisfy this requirement, which means the shelter has been non-compliant. Excessive heat, when combined with high humidity like we have here in Florida, leads to serious health issues, including heat stress and heat stroke, resulting in collapse, unconsciousness, seizures, and death. This is especially concerning for dogs with existing health issues. We experienced the tragic loss of dogs during this past summer, and while we cannot definitively state that heat was a contributing factor in every case, we must recognize that some of these deaths occurred during extreme temperatures. My concerns extend beyond the welfare of the animals. I worry about the kennel tech safety as well. I have provided a handout that includes information regarding heat-related illnesses in the workplace, published by the Workers' Compensation Research Institute, a nonpartisan organization that assists governmental agencies in matters related to work comp. The state of Florida is a WCRI member. Their research shows that heat-related injuries can impair a worker's cognitive and motor abilities, increasing the risk of accidents. Notably, workers under the age of 35 and those with a job tenure of less than 2 months are at particularly high risk. This encompasses many of your kennel techs. Given these concerns, it's crucial that we conduct further research and implement effective solutions to protect both the staff and the animals that are under your care. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. We can. I have a request for a brief recess. That we're at the 1 hour. I'm going to go ahead and take 10 minutes recess, and then we will resume public comment in 10 minutes. Yes, ma'am. Mr. Mr. Fisher-Bauer. Mr. Fisher-Bauer. Stokes?
We are rated, why are we talking about Walker? They know that my development service department, that 93.
Mr. Fisher-Bauer? At 6:06. Miss Rebecca Ward?
Good evening, Commissioners.
Good evening.
My name is Rebecca Ward. My address is 97035 Woodstock Lane in Fernandina Beach. I am a Nassau County resident as well as a concerned animal foster in this county with Nassau Humane Society, but I'm also a concerned citizen here tonight. During my 15 years while I lived in Atlanta, I volunteered with various animal rescues, which did include a county-funded shelter. I've also personally adopted from the Petco NCAS partnership here in Nassau County. I'm here today because Nassau County Animal Services is in crisis. The four main concerns are the following allegations with sufficient evidence that were shared with me from current and former fosters, as well as volunteers, many of which are here tonight. Severe understaffing and lack of training. There's underqualified staff performing medical procedures far beyond their abilities. It's leading to complications and even animal deaths. There's inhumane handling of deceased animals. Kittens are left in cages for hours, even during public hours. There's improper disposal of euthanized animals. It has been reported that deceased animals are placed in garbage bags and discarded in dumpsters out back. There's dismissal of qualified volunteers. Despite years of experience that I have, I submitted 5 applications over the course of 5 years that I've lived in Fernandina, both to foster and to volunteer, and I have never once received a call back. It has also been publicly shared that a volunteer who is here this evening brought forward major concerns of the quality of care and conditions of the shelter, and she was fired. Beyond this, I have personally been inside the shelter, and the conditions are alarming. The volunteers and day-to-day staff are doing everything that they can do with the capacity that they are at with the animals inside that shelter, but the facility is not being run in the way that it should be. I have also seen free adoption posts, most recently this weekend, shared on social media, which, as a foster and adopter myself, I find that deeply concerning. I urge the county to always require an adoption fee, even if a portion is covered by a sponsor, to protect both animals and adopters. By contrast, the Nassau Humane Society and DeKalb County in Atlanta, Georgia, both demonstrate that the right leadership, effective systems, and volunteer engagement, a shelter can operate smoothly, respectfully, and without compromising animal care, even without county funding. Commissioners, this is more than just about operations. It's about compassion, it's about dignity, it's about community trust. We want to help, but we need leadership willing to welcome volunteers, enforce humane standards, and protect the animals that are in our county's care. I respectfully ask that you investigate the concerns that I have brought to you this evening. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, ma'am. Heather LaFont?
Bear with me, sorry, my phone got. Good afternoon, my name is Heather LaFont, 2049 Oak Marsh Drive in Fernandina Beach. Good afternoon, Commissioners and all. I'm here today to speak on behalf of the animals, the volunteers, the frontline staff of Nassau County Animal Services, and my current foster dog, Jarvis. The people in the kennels and the dedicated volunteers, in my opinion, are not in conflict. The problem seems to come from the top. Decisions that have pushed away longtime staff and volunteers. It seems if you don't toe the county line, you're blackballed or fired. We've seen this with multiple volunteers, and most recently last week, Lexus Ann. I would like to request that her volunteer status be reinstated immediately. Sorry, I'm just a little nervous and
It's
a
okay,
little,
ma'am.
a little,
Nope, you're
a little
doing just
emotional
fine.
here. Jacksonville has paid out $75,000 when they mishandled a volunteer in the similar way, and I implore us to not repeat their mistake.
The current SOP on file is from 2013 and is outdated and not being followed. I've heard that the Jacksonville staff are here maybe to help. Maybe they're the ones that are in the newly dropped-off air-conditioned portables out in front of the facilities. I'm a little concerned that that is the same agency that just paid a whistleblower settlement. Are we walking down the same path by firing Lexus when she raised concerns on social media? I also raised concerns. I'm in fear that my dog is about to be taken away from me. I lose sleep at night over this. Oversight has also failed. A staff member has recently had sexual relations with a minor enrolled in a county 4-H program in the veterinary building after hours. This shows how badly checks and balances are lacking in this county facility. We must also face the reality of underfunding. Kennel techs being hired at $15 an hour, which is far below a living wage here in Nassau County. No wonder turnover is so high. If we want to keep staff, we need to invest in them with fair pay and ongoing training to ensure the highest standards of animal care. Volunteers have raised concerns for over a year detailing specifics, including pictures. I personally read these emails dating back to April 2024, sent to Brandy, Tim, Chris, Marty, Taco, and even some of you. Tim McGuire himself, on June 13th, 2025, sent out an email asking volunteers for help with, I quote, "Where is everyone? We miss our walks. We sure miss the suds and scrubs because the animals are not being bathed." Please do not say that you are unaware of that there is a problem when even leadership is acknowledging it. There is one immediate solution that already exists. It is the Animal Control Oversight Committee that was created in 2003. Volunteers have been asking for years to see this utilized. This committee could provide accountability, transparency, and real input for the community. I'm asking for you to revive and empower it, and I will gladly volunteer my time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Lexus Harrison? Welcome. Thank you.
Good evening, Commissioners. My name is Lexus Harrison, and I have been a volunteer at Nassau County Animal Services for the past year. I'm here tonight to report systemic failures that endanger animals, staff, and volunteers alike, failures that have been ignored despite repeated warnings. I have documented multiple instances of neglect that are not isolated mistakes, but a consistent pattern. Kittens have been left overnight in cages without litter boxes because staff forgot to place them inside. I have seen a kitten bleeding during intake testing, only to be placed back in its cage without proper care. I've seen a dead kitten left in plain view during public adoption hours while families walked past. And I have observed animals being fed expired food because staff do not have sufficient time to support to sort through donations and determine what is safe. These failures are not due to lack of care by staff. On the contrary, staff are deeply committed, but they are overworked, underpaid, and unsupported. Leadership has failed to provide them with the resources and oversight necessary to meet even the minimum standards of animal care. I personally raised these concerns with management and offered detailed solutions to address the problems. I received no response. I escalated my concerns by emailing every one of you sitting here tonight. Still no response. I was then told my claims were unfounded, and last week I was terminated as a volunteer for speaking out. Commissioners, this retaliation is not only wrong, it is unlawful. By terminating me for raising concerns about shelter conditions, my First Amendment right to speak out on matters of public concern has been violated. Silencing a volunteer who reports neglect is a direct attack on public accountability, and it sets a dangerous precedent for anyone who witnesses wrongdoing in this county. It is important for all county employees to recognize that official communications, use of government vehicles, and actions taken in county buildings are recorded and accessible as public records. These measures exist to ensure accountability, and I expect that the forthcoming public records will reflect and confirm the issues that I have reported here tonight. I am asking this board to take two immediate steps. First, I demand to be reinstated as a volunteer so that I can continue serving the animals who cannot speak for themselves. Second, I urge the implementation of former policies, procedures, and oversight mechanisms that ensure accountability, proper staffing, and adherence to minimum standards of care. The county must prevent neglect and protect whistleblowers going forward. The staff deserve support, Volunteers deserve protection, and the animals who have no voice deserve safety, humane care, and oversight. Nassau County has the ability and the responsibility to correct these failures. The public expects action, the animals demand it, and the law requires it. The choice is clear. Act now to address systemic neglect and unlawful retaliation, or continue to be held accountable for every failure that occurs under your watch. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Fishburne?
David Fashingbauer, 93010 Marsh Landing, Fernandina Beach. Good evening. I volunteered at Nassau County Animal Services from 2017 until 2023. My goal was to place animals in loving homes and improve their quality of life in the shelter. I worked toward this goal through Facebook and Constant Contact. I created more than 10,000 posts on your Facebook page, which consistently ranked as the second most popular shelter page in the southeastern United States, averaging 50,000 to 70,000 interactions per week. By comparison, last week it had 800. Great shelters are not judged by how quickly they can give away free kittens and puppies at Petco. Rather, how quickly they can find a home for a 4-year-old male pit bull with scars on his face and torn ear. The best Facebook page is the Humane Society of Broward County. Here is a quote from a recent post. Rosita has officially been our longest resident. She's been waiting over 2 months, longer than any other animal in the building. At Nassau County Animal Service, volunteers were told legally we could not submit drafts of Facebook posts for approval. After drafting several posts for the dogs Beach and Smokey, who had each been in the shelter for over 500 days, all my posts were rejected. This isn't about legal restrictions. This is about someone's ego and the animals who pay the price for their poor marketing decisions. I launched Constant Contact platform in 2017, and to date, 22,000 people have signed up, all of them interested in adopting, fostering, volunteering, and donating. I sent over 1.4 million newsletters. For many of those animals, especially during COVID, these newsletters were their lifeline. That lifeline has now been severed. Johnny Cash is another dog who spent more than 500 days in the shelter. Johnny Cash had 14 families that expressed an interest in adopting him. With an adoption coordinator, these leads would have been pursued and likely resulted in a home for him. Instead, no one follows up, and taxpayers continue to pay to keep him in a cage. Those dressed in navy blue tonight stand in support of the volunteers and fosters who remain silent for fear of retaliation and loss of their privileges. These animals have no voice, and now even the voices of those who care for them are being silenced. Constant Contact holds the name of more than 1,200 volunteers. Reach out to them, value their skills, and put their experience at work. I also urge you to hire an adoption coordinator because the homeless animals of this county deserve better. Thank you.
Thank you, Dan. Ms. Stokes?
Hi, my name is Trinity Stotes, and 1019 Mulberry Landing Road, Hilliard, Florida is my address.
Thank you.
Good evening, Commissioners. My name is Trinity Stotes, and I am here tonight because what happened at Nassau County Animal Services, it was not only tragic, it was preventable. On July 14th, News4Jax reported that a veterinarian technician at our county shelter was arrested and charged with coercing a minor into sexual acts on shelter grounds. This is horrifying enough on its own, but what makes it even more devastating is that it never had to get this far. On May 31st, I personally reported my concerns directly to Ms. Penny Burns. I raised red flags about issues I believe put both animals and people at risk. I came forward because I knew something was wrong and I trusted that leadership would act. But nothing was done, my warning was ignored. And now here we are, a child has been harmed, our community trust has been shaken, and our county is in the head. Thank you, I'm done.
Thank you. Ms. Alexis Harrison? Oh, I'm sorry, already did it. Jacqueline Osborne? There were some double cards.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for allowing me to speak this evening. I had this whole thing all written out, had it all figured out what I was going to say, and I'll start off with what I started with. The numbers at the animal shelter, there are 94 dogs in the kennel with 76 in foster. There are 100 cats in the kennel, in the cattery, with 56 in foster. If you look at the overhead, that's Amber, and that was taken today. This is Amber back in June. This is one of the dogs that came in that allegedly are being ignored by the staff. You see the difference in the dogs. That has gone throughout the shelter. I can tell you there's not one dead cat in any of those shelters, period, end of story. Not one dog died from the heat this summer, period, end of story. Our cattery, which is a place that I love very much, is managed by all the shelter tenants in there. One of them happens to be with us tonight. Miss Kelly's in the back. Kelly knows every cat in that cattery by their name, and she can tell you this one likes this one's a little feisty, watch out, this one's a runner. Every one of them, she knows that. We have other staff members of the shelter that know about the dogs that way too. These people come in the morning and first thing they do is they clean those kennels out and they feed them and they water them. And then they start all over again. Every 30 minutes, somebody goes by the kennels to see if they need to be, again, cleaned of the refuse and the water. I don't know what to say. As far as I'm concerned, this group here just wants you to close the darn thing down and be done with it. You have got...
Folks, it's her 3 minutes.
You have got some very, very dedicated people working at that shelter. Very dedicated. I've seen them hold animals in their hands while they died. I've seen them take home animals that they knew were going to die over the weekend. I've seen them love and with affection for these animals and treat them as their own. And the very idea that anything is mistreated at that shelter or it's not taken care of or it's not attended to is absurd. I've been there for 3 years. Working with the county commissioners, we're working on a brand new shelter. We're working diligently on that. Mr. Pope and his staff are working hard. The commissioners are all in line for this. I can't tell you what I really think this whole thing is, but I can tell you I don't agree with it. Thank you so much for allowing me to talk. These are the kitties. And again, another puppy. Y'all, if you want to do something, go out there and tell them we need some fosters. We need some people to adopt dogs. That's the way you help. And the other way you help, I managed a team of people in Washington, D.C. I oversaw a program, $100 million budget a year. I managed a program that put out regulations to 13,000 employees. And you know how we did it? Teamwork. Teamwork. If you don't have it, it doesn't work.
I have no additional speaker cards. Did I miss anyone? I have no other cards. Okay. County manager's business. Oh,
Yes, sir. At each of your seats is a letter. I had a conversation with the government affairs officer in the city of Jacksonville. There's a joint interest in adding some amenities to the George Crady Fishing Pier. The Board of County Commissioners in Nassau and the City Council of Jacksonville make annual maintenance payments to the Department of Environmental Protection. And so the letter before you is a request. It'll go out under Mayor Deegan's signature, endorsed by the Board of County Commissioners, if you so choose, requesting DEP to expend those funds to put certain amenities in place. And so if you would like to jointly sign that letter, it's before you. I would just need direction to do so.
Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Gray.
Mr. Chairman, I support County Manager Mr. Polk's initiative. I talked to State Representative, Legislative Aide, Mr. Spicer, and he informed me that we do spend $15,000 a year. I believe the county does, contributes. And I've got a few emails. I got some texts, I believe, in support of this from my constituents, our constituents out there, I should say. They like to go out there and wet a lime when they don't have a boat. And it's a good amenity for the people to come out and enjoy. Northeast Florida, be able to fish and clean and have trash cans and shelter there once in a while. So I support this. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thanks. Yes, Mr. Farmer.
I support it as well. This is not something that's new. It just took us this long to get it to the forefront. At the end of the day, County Manager Pope would probably, attest to this. We had to get everybody on the same sheet of music. And I think over the course of the last, say, 5 years, there was some misunderstanding and there was some information that had to be uncovered and dug up and then revisited. And of course, a lot of the people that put this in play, obviously, and some of them are long gone, but it's a very good initiative. It serves our people and our park service very well. It attracts a lot of people to the area. It's a great place to fish. I've fished there myself several times, and I support it.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Farmer.
Mr.
Commissioner Martin.
Yeah, through the chair to County Manager Pope. Are you looking for a motion or are you just looking for consensus?
Consensus is
All right, I concur.
I concur as well. Yes, okay, it's unanimous, Mr. Pope, thank you. Any other business, Mr. Pope?
No, sir.
Madam Attorney?
I have no further business, thank you,
Okay.
sir.
All right. We're going to do commissioner comments tonight. Start on my right, Commissioner Martin,
Oh, okay.
unless you start.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
I got a lot of emails from folks here tonight, and I got emails from other folks that don't agree with the folks that spoke tonight. And so there were several of them, and the one that I felt was the most impactful, I'm going to read to you. I'm writing in response to recent claims brought forward regarding the Nassau County Animal Shelter. As a lifelong Nassau County resident, born and raised in Yulee, and now residing in Hilliard, I feel compelled to share my perspective as someone who's been actively involved with the shelter for more than 12 years. During this time, I have fostered well over 300 cats through the shelter program. To say I have spent time within those walls is an understatement. I have been met at the shelter outside of regular hours to obtain medication for sick kittens, and have personally seen staff and volunteers coordinate with local veterinarians to ensure dogs in need of surgery or urgent medical care receive the help they require. It has been suggested that animals frequently fall ill in the shelter. While it is true that illness can spread quickly among kittens, much like children in a classroom, staff and volunteers work tirelessly to separate sick animals and reduce risks as much as possible. Unfortunately, some of these circumstances are beyond anyone's control, but I have consistently seen the shelter respond with compassion and urgency. As for the dogs, I cannot speak to the daily cleaning of kennels, but as a dog owner myself, I know firsthand that dogs create messes immediately after being cleaned up. This is a reality of animal care, not necessarily a reflection of neglect. Rather than focusing solely on complaints, I encourage those with concerns to come and see the shelter firsthand, walk a dog, sign up as a volunteer, foster an animal, or help spread the word to encourage adoption. These are constructive ways to support the shelter and improve conditions for the animals. The Nassau County Animal Shelter is filled with dedicated staff and volunteers who love and advocate for these animals. My experience has been one of commitment, compassion, and community, and I hope this letter provides another perspective as you evaluate the claims brought forward. Thank you for your time and for your continued support of animal welfare in Nassau County. That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Commissioner Martin. Commissioner Farmer?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'll go ahead and speak to the animal control comments from earlier. I'll say that thank you to everyone that came out to speak. Broward County and Fulton County, Georgia were both mentioned a couple times. Broward County possesses 2.037 million residents, and Fulton County, Georgia possesses 1.09 million residents. As of the last 24 census data, we have 105,000 people here in Nassau County. So for those out there that know how to run a calculator, you can imagine that their budgets are very, very large in comparison. So comparing Nassau County to Fort Lauderdale or Atlanta, I don't think is fair to our staff and our people. At the end of the day, I think there's a lot better way to do this than to send us some upwards of 40 or 50 emails a day that looked identical to one another. I've been to the shelter. I think these people that run our shelter do a very, very good job. I disagree with the people that came up and spoke in opposition. That's their right. They can come up and speak, I guess, all they want to. At the end of the day, though, some people just aren't fit for certain positions. And at the end of the day, in any good position of leadership, I don't care who you are. I've ran business now and got thrown into the business fire as a kid. And this is my 41st year running family business. And I've had people that just aren't good truck drivers. I've had people that they can't get to work on time. Or maybe they just don't have what it takes when it comes to punctuality, or what it comes to maybe accessibility, or maybe communication skills. Maybe they're just not fit for the job. And at the end of the day, when it comes to a volunteer position, and I volunteer for a whole bunch of positions, and I belong to just about every, I guess, major group in the area. And I could pull out a wallet and show you these cards that I belong to. Optimus Club, Lions Club, Masonic Lodge events. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. And at the end of the day, I've had to stand in sometime and go, hey, look, guys, you want to put together this fundraiser, but then you throw it in my lap and you walk away. Well, just because I'm a commissioner doesn't mean I'm going to take this fundraiser and raise all this money for you and make you look good so you can sit on the couch over there and then gripe and fuss and complain. So like I say all the time, the loudest boos always come from the cheapest seats. And I'm not in the business of wallowing in the mud with a bunch of hogs. And at the end of the day, I think there's a better way to do this. Are there things that we can improve upon? Yes. At the end of the day, every team has a weak link somewhere that they can tighten up. But what we saw tonight, in my opinion, was not the way to do it. And so moving forward, I think that we can all work together to achieve our goals, but sometimes it's best to just let the people go that aren't a good fit for what we're trying to take care of. And that's where I stand on that. Thank you, Miss Jackie, and for the kind words. I mean, these people, they're there every week. They know what's going on down there, and I personally know some of the staff, and I've known them my whole entire life. They're not bad people. So at the end of the day, let's all work towards making Nassau County even better than what it is. There's a reason people want to move here. Let's see here. Congratulations to Mr. Ellis. Mr. Ellis, in my opinion, has been a beast to Nassau County. It's a well-deserved retirement. He's always seek out and provided fairness and accessibility. Been very devoted to the citizens of Nassau County over in our permitting office. And I tell you, it's a big hole. I'm sure Mr. Pope will agree. When it comes down to it, him and Miss Holly are going to be two big pairs of shoes to fill moving forward. And we'd like to thank him for his many years of service. He did assure me, though, that whoever takes his place and falls in behind him, that he will leave his phone on for us to be able to ask questions, because there's a lot of things there, when it comes to building code, that you need to be able to search for and look for. My West Nassau Warriors won this past weekend versus Frederica. They traveled to Lake Weir on 9-5. Homecoming's the following week. I saw that the Pirates squeaked out a win. I didn't check the rest of the score, but congratulations to all Nassau County's teams, and let's go Nassau. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Commissioner Gray.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I too as well received the email from Ms. Connor that Commissioner Martin read, and it was very uplifting. On August 21st, Nassau County Animal Services received from the Best Friends Animal Society Award as a no-kill shelter. Has been maintained for 10 years, the last 2 being consecutive years in a row as a no-kill shelter. During 2023, 2024, this is truly amazing right here, folks. They successfully adopted 1,698 animals out. 1,698 animals. They transferred 109 animals to rescue partners, reunited 478 pets with their owners, and fostered another 952. So staff's got to be doing something right to get those type of numbers. I also want to go into this here West Side Business Chamber on Thursday, August 21st. I attended the West Side Business Chamber. Commissioner Martin was in attendance as well. They had their monthly meeting and luncheon. It was well attended by a lot of business owners here in Nassau County. We had a small business development director, Ms. Jody Henson with SBDC. She was there as a guest speaker trying to tell people how to reach out to her to get information, write business plans. If you've got a heat and air conditioning business or a septic tank business, we'll use you, Mr. Farmer, as an example. I mean, a lot of times you ain't got the resources or time or to go out and write a business plan and go to a bank and ask for a loan. But she put on a fantastic presentation, and after the meeting was over, a lot of young entrepreneurs were up there. I think it was a really good meeting. It just wasn't people just sitting around having lunch. I mean, what they got going on the west side, I would say Commissioner Martin is really amazing over there.
Absolutely.
It is amazing. And that's what you need here in Nassau County to help businesses thrive, help our economy grow, provide jobs for our children and our grandchildren when they get out of high school. So I want a big shout out to them. And that's all I have, Commissioner Chairman Hubman. Thank you for allowing me to speak.
Thank you, Mr. Gregg. Commissioner McCullough?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Congratulations, Mr. Ellis. 29 and a half years working with Nassau County, 42 years in construction. Longer than I have been alive, that man has been doing construction. I'll just say it before you do. But I just meant, and he said he's gonna work part-time. Every time somebody comes up here, we recognize these week after week, 30 years, 40 years with the county. It is crazy to me, just the wealth of knowledge that people commit their life to the betterment of our citizens, and I am truly grateful for that. Everyone has addressed the shelter. We hear the concerns from our community about the conditions at NCAS. We want you to know that our dedicated staff is working around the clock. Their efforts are tireless. They can't do it alone, But I will say this, and I've been in public education for 15 years. Negativity is hard to combat when we are are there problems with the shelter? Possibly, yes. I mean, there are some conditions that we've got to work on, but there are effective communication ways to get to those solutions. And I just think that, I myself, I never toot my own horn. I have worked with Mr. Jacob Hagan for buckets for water. Me and the kids and if we clear the Amazon list regularly, work with other business partners to get there. Tonight, the fire union donated a $1,000 check. I just think that really a positive outlook and effort is going to get us a lot further with the animal shelter. And I'm grateful for the volunteers. We always need more volunteers, but I said it Wednesday morning and I'll say it today. The only way that we can make the shelter better is to clear the shelter. So an hour at home with you in the evening is better than 24 hours in the kennel. If you and your husband both work full-time jobs, an hour at home to see you is better than 24 hours in the kennel. I have several dogs from the shelter. We already know how I feel about the animals, so thank you, Mr. Huffman.
Thank you, Commissioner McCullough. All right. I appreciate everyone coming out and speaking tonight. Reverend Jones and Mr. Gilliard, thanks for coming and saying thanks. I'm going to acknowledge the previous board as well, who actually started the ball rolling. There's folks that aren't here anymore that were part of that process, but certainly got it going, as well as the staff and the folks that did all that. Congratulations, Mr. Ellis, on 29 years. That is a lifetime of service. Thank you to 3101, the Firefighters Union, for your kind donation to Imagine Nassau. Every little bit helps. I am a father of 4 rescue dogs, 3 of which I got from Nassau County Animal Services. So I feel qualified to speak. I've been to the kennel many times. What I saw is a building that's over 35 years old. what I saw is a building that has been turned into a facility it was never designed to be, and that's a no-kill shelter. And I've seen a professional staff and a lot of loving volunteers who've tried to make that facility be the best it can be until we get the new facility built. I think that if we continue to work together, we'll address concerns. We have to address concerns when they come to light. There are some of these things I wrote down I had not heard before. Mr. Fischenbauer, I know he did extensive work with our social media and did a lot of great. And now we have some new employees that are coming in to take on that social media and the volunteer coordinator and those kind of things. We've all got to work together. The only way we're going to improve anything is to work together on the issues. I wish some of the folks that spoke had stayed. Maybe they'll go back and watch this one. But I can tell you that the staff and the commissioners are dedicated to making the conditions there as good as we can, given the circumstances we have. We can't create a facility overnight. I wish we could. It takes years of programming and millions, tens of millions of dollars to get a new facility up and running. In the meantime, I'm going to ask your volunteers to continue to help us to reach those goals and help us make the improvements by working with the staff and working with our folks to get there. I wish I could take them all home. My wife would, if I let her. But I can't put here it is, 200 and some animals in the facility, almost 200 in the facility. The facility that never had air conditioning. One of the buildings has been modified to support that. The other one, we tried to modify the building, but because of the ventilation requirements for OSHA and the protection of humans and animals, it pulls the air out as quickly as, the cold air out as quickly as you put it in the facility. People need to hear that. This facility hasn't had air conditioning for 35 years. The two dogs that we heard about this year, I read the autopsy reports. One had cancer, the other one had a blood disease. I'm just going to say that out loud, because one had cancer and one had a blood disease. I'm sure the staff wished we could have saved them, but it wasn't heat related. It's uncomfortable. We're trying to engineer a way around it. In the meantime, I'm not aware that we've lost any dogs due to the heat. So, again, I implore the volunteers to continue to help us, to work with us. I've said this many times. I'm not a big fan of the social media because it doesn't fix a thing. It just creates a separate controversy. So I beg you to come in and work with us, and we'll meet you in the middle, and we'll get some solutions and some. I beat that out. So we appreciate you coming forward. We understand the concerns. We will work on them with you, and we'll have positive solutions going forward. So I appreciate everyone's time and energy tonight, and I'll see you at the next meeting. Thank you.